On this week's episode, Alan and I are going to be recapping the 2025 UKC Youth National Championship. You'll want to hang tight for this one.
You're listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast, celebrating hunting dog heritage, competition, and community. United Kennel Club has been the hunting dog sports home for coonhounds, beagles, retrievers, pointers, cur, feist, and more for over 125 years.
Welcome back to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast. This is Trevor Wade. I'm the Coonhound Program Manager at UKC, and I'm joined today by the Director of Hunting Ops, Alan Gingrich. What's going on, Alan?
Well, hey, don't be jealous of me, Trevor. I'm out here on the UKC patio, our little lunch patio here at the office. So if you can see, I tried to put up this umbrella here. If you saw a little bit ago, we had kind of a rodeo with that thing. So I wanted to cover myself up a little bit, but I had to pass on that. I don't know how to operate this umbrella here.
the things you do for our customer base out there going to get a sunburn today, but that's all good. Huh?
Yeah. So maybe this wasn't a good idea. It's pretty warm. It has been so warm up here, unseasonably warm. You know, it's warm summer, but maybe I don't know, probably pushing 80 degrees again today.
Yeah, it's getting towards the time where we're about to start feeling that crisp fall air. I hope about the time Autumn Oaks rolls around, because last year it was pretty warm over there. So it'd be nice if it was about 20 degrees warmer or cooler than that this year.
For sure. Absolutely. Youth Nationals.
Yeah, this is if you guys have been paying attention, this was the 25th annual Youth Nationals, and we kind of went through the entire history a couple episodes back. But so this year we're going to recap what happened there on our end, and it's kind of funny. I just said in my opening ceremonies there at the event, the event this year in Milton, Indiana, took place actually it's about 46 miles from spot to spot of where the very first Youth National Championship was in Shelbyville, Indiana, back in 2001.
Yeah, it's right close to there. It's and that's a good area to have it to in Liberty. I'm sure you're going to talk about it, but that was a good place to put it. Angie Cable and the whole crew there, I'm sure they did a fantastic job. All the results look good and everything. I'm interested in hearing more about it. Obviously, I wasn't there, but you were, and I look forward to kind of going over some of the results here with you.
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to start out with a kind of an overview of the event. The first thing I like to do when I get back is make a spreadsheet with each kid that's entered into it. And, of course, you can look at it a whole and say you had 160 entries. When you boil it down, we had 84 individual kids that entered into it, either the show or one of the night hunts over the weekend, which I thought was pretty great. 50 individual kids entered into the night hunt, which included 17 young ladies. So I thought that's a pretty awesome percentage. Almost half of the hunt competitors were young ladies, and you could tell there was a great crowd of them there. So that's encouraging for our sport. The more people we can get into it, and you see all the dads and the grandpas with their granddaughters and daughters, and it's just an awesome time. It's a fun time.
Right. Yeah. Good split for sure.
Yeah. 52 individual kids in the bench show. Obviously, each kid was allowed to handle one dog, and 52 entries. Man, I was absolutely tickled with that number. And then the crossover was pretty darn good as well. We had 22 kids that participated in at least one hunt and the show as well. So we're seeing a lot of dual purpose handlers coming up, and a lot of crossover there. And hey, some really talented kids.
Yeah, 43 boys, 41 girls there in altogether. 16 states represented. That's really good.
I thought that was a strong number. You bet. Kind of forgot to go back and look, but it seemed like since I've been here, we've been around the 12 to 14 state range, and here we had a great blend from all the way down, and from Alabama and Georgia. There was a couple groups of kids from down there, which always seem to travel. There always seems to be that little pocket of kids that come up from down there. But South Carolina all the way up to Wisconsin and Iowa and just all over, and a great blend of kids, a lot of different folks, but at the end of the day, really similar folks who have like interests, and you could tell the kids are having a good time making new friends from all over.
Yeah. One state I'm surprised not to see on here is Oklahoma. It seems like we always had several kids from Oklahoma. I don't see them on the list this year, but Nebraska, there's some kids from Nebraska out west a good ways.
Lancaster girls, they came and got themselves some awards, and
yeah.
Let's I kind of got it broken down here. Want to break it down into different sections here for you guys. We're going to start out with the night hunt, go all the way through the night hunt, and then we'll finish it up with the with the show before we get to our shout outs. And we're going to mention a lot of great people in this episode. So hopefully you guys hang tight, and we're going to give everybody their flowers and their kudos for a job well done. And Friday night's hunt, we ended up with 49 entries. 7 senior casts went to the woods, 6 junior casts. So it was a pretty good blend of young and old alike. And at the end of the day, when the deadline came, all 13 of those casts came back with a plus point cast winner. And that is pretty darn rare for a youth event. So really impressive.
Yeah, absolutely. There, and your average winning score was 358 points for the average score. 44 coons scored 3.38 per cast there, but and then Jackson Cable was the high scorer with 825 with that lone shark dog that's
Yeah.
been doing a lot of winning. So, and he's kind of in his home turf and everything, but 8 1/4 then and for an hour and a half hunt. Pretty nice score, and those are some really good averages right there on that first Friday night. I'm sure
Yeah.
you were tickled with that.
Yeah, Friday night seemed like the coons were moving. All the kids had great stories about their hunts the night before. And hey, you're right. Jackson was there on his home turf, and I guess he got a spot to hunt that even Kevin isn't allowed to hunt. He only got to hunt there because the guy liked Jackson.
Hey,
So
it's the national championship, you know.
He'll pull out all the breaks for the national championship. So
Yeah, heck
he
yeah.
was able to take on first place on Friday night. Saturday night, we had some impending weather. It definitely rained on and off during the day, and we're worried about some thunderstorms late in the evening. It turned out it wasn't as bad as it was forecasted, which is often the case in these type deals. But we still ended up with 46 kids coming. So still a very good hunt. Ended up with 95 entries in the hunts over the weekend. And again, 7 senior cast and 6 junior cast went to the woods. Out of those 13, we had 11 come back on Saturday night with a plus point cast winner. I think the rain during the day made it a little bit more humid. The air was a little bit thicker, maybe tougher tracking conditions. And as you can tell by the coon score to the averages, the coons weren't moving as well.
Yeah, 26 coons scored on Saturday night as compared to 44 on Friday. But that put the average down to 2 per cast. And that's still a pretty good average in a 90-minute hunt across the board there. Average score was obviously also a little lower, 242 for an average score Saturday. And again, Jackson Cable with Lone Shark again, 2 nights in a row, high score dog, 625 on Saturday night for him.
They were absolutely clicking, and the prize packages here, real quick, got to mention it because of some of our sponsors and stuff, and all they do for the youth here. First through 10th on each night got a trophy from UKC, a new Bright Eyes light from Ray Conrad with Bright Eyes lights, and another goodie that we put with their trophies, whether it was something that Eukanuba gave or Mud River, there was a lot of little leashes and collars and little dog bowls and different things that each kid was given. So could have been a range of different goodies depending on what placement they got. We did have, obviously, we had 13 cast winners on Friday and 11 on Saturday. So when I got to the grounds on Saturday morning, first thing I do, go over and see Jeremy Davis with Carolina Coon Hunters. Say, hey, I got a couple more cast winners, and I probably will tonight as well. Trying to look for something to get them, and I settled on getting them a new non-spill bowl and a new leash each. So each kid got a little bit of something. I appreciate Jeremy. Of course, I wanted to pay for it, and he sure wouldn't let me. But just wanted each kid that won their cast to get a little bit of something at least. And I think everybody was well pleased with their winnings. And man, some of my favorite parts of this hunt are listening to the recaps of the hunts the morning after, and especially on Saturday night when I'm kind of sitting there with the master of hounds and they come strutting in with the cards, and you get to hear a little quick rundown of their hunt. Man, that's what makes this whole event worth it.
Yeah, and it's the other thing I always picked up on or like to listen or eavesdrop a little bit, just listening to how they summarize their hunt, and some of those young guys, or young boys and girls both, that it's funny to not funny, but it's just interesting to hear them recap some of those
Yeah,
stories, and some of them are really into it. Reminds me of when I was young. We didn't have competition hunts, but just so enthusiastic and just the passion they have, and just all the little details, and it's
they're
generally all the good stuff my dog did, and the not so good stuff the other dogs did. But nevertheless, it's always interesting.
it's almost the opposite of when you get over to an adult hunt and you kind of hear the bad parts of it, and here
Yeah,
they're just focused on all
yeah,
the very good things that happen.
yeah, yeah.
So junior division, we can fast forward to there real quick. As we said, 6 casts each night for a total of 12 junior casts over the weekend, and they actually ended up with 3 double cast winners, which I thought was pretty darn impressive. We had Eva Lancaster of Nebraska. She was hunting the Good Golly Good Golly Little Molly dog, owned by the Mike and Christine Fields up in Iowa. She won her cast on Friday night with 275 plus, won her cast on Saturday night with 2.25 plus, and that gave her a final score of 500 plus combined over the 2 nights, and put her in fighting distance for that overall junior national championship crown.
Yeah, another one is Chloe Archer of South Carolina. She is the daughter of Mr. or RJ Archer that
RJ,
owns a Bad Habit supply company. He
yep.
does all the warm up slams or the $2,000 sponsorship for the warm up slams at Autumn Oaks. But Chloe was hunting a little dog named Bad Habit Bimbo. 350 Friday, 250 Saturday, and that gave her 600 combined. So she's also right there in the running.
And if you were keeping up, you kind of probably already know who won this one, and we've already mentioned his name twice. He was actually first place both nights, and hey, just a kid is kind of a buzzsaw. He's been hunting a lot. He's been hunting a lot of nights this summer. He's put a lot of work in. He got to know his dog. His dog's well conditioned and clicking at the right time. And our 2025 junior national champion was Mr. Jackson Cable, right there close by Connorsville, Indiana, with his hound Money's Long Shark, owned by his dad and his mom. So,
Yeah. That dog's done a lot of winning. You know, Jackson's won with this dog before, and his dad's been winning with him. His dad takes him to the hunt the weekend after the Nationals here and wins a pile of money in a different registry with the dog as well. So that's got to be pretty cool where father and son are taking the same dog and winning big with him like that. And man, I saw a little clip of Jackson again last year when he won his first junior national championship. He had this little video clip thanking everybody for all the calls and texts and everything else. He did the same thing again this year. He's just a cool little cat. And
yeah,
this year, he's even talking about his sponsors. So he's what is he, 9 years old, and he's got some sponsors already. So that's good stuff.
yeah, he had a heck of a weekend. 1450 combined in his 2 cast wins, and now, like you said, he's our back-to-back junior national champion. So that $1,000 tuition award this year, now he's got 2,000 accrued already, and he's still got a long ways to go in this youth program. He could really put a dent in some college tuition if he keeps at it. In addition to his tuition award, he did get the national championship trophy to commemorate his win, an embroidered Dan's jacket, an Avery edition vest from Carolina Coon Hunters, and then 2 bags of Eukanuba dog food. So
Yeah. Hey, congratulations to all those juniors there, and a big kudos to Jackson Cable, 2-time junior national champion there. That's got to be pretty special, and that's quite an accomplishment for that young man. Senior division, hey, you had 14 senior division casts over the weekend, 2 double cast winners there. So that means those 2 double cast winners went into the final cast. They do have a hunt off on Saturday night, as opposed where the juniors don't. But the seniors, they do have a hunt off. So double cast winners are in first. So you only had 2. That's probably less than, sometimes you have more than that. Double cast winners first, or
yeah,
one of them was Easton Coffee of Kentucky hunting a dog named Willie Stackin' Bills. It's kind of a cool name for a dog. He had 450 plus on Friday and backed it up again on Saturday with 4.25 for a combined score of 875. Easton Coffee.
and then the other double cast winner was a local lady, Miss Jenny Carmack, there right around Liberty, Indiana, Mike Carmack's daughter. And she was hunting a former national champion here, Autumn Oaks national champion, Hannah's Creek Dolly. And they kind of grinded it out this weekend. She was walking me through it, and Dolly was kind of in run mode, and she was treeing just enough to get her on the paper and then taking off. And she had some long walks, but she won her cast on Friday with 150 plus, on Saturday with 100 plus, and that gave her 250 combined and secured her place in the final cast.
Yeah.
We had 2 spots open, so we went to our single cast high scores.
Hey, the first one, Reagan Estes of Indiana had 675 on Friday night. Had a good score there Friday with a dog named Timber True Sweet Alley. And that 675 score from Friday night is what put her in the finals.
Absolutely. And then rounding out the 4 was Austin Rosenberger, also close by. He's a member of the Hannah's Creek Club. They were all wearing their Hannah's Creek shirts, and he was able to get him a good cast win on Friday night as well with 550 plus with a dog named Hannah's Creek Viver. And that's actually Dolly's litter mate, and that's kind of a cool deal. Two hounds there competing at the highest level and doing really well. So that's a testament to Mr. Carmack's breeding program there. He was pretty proud of that.
Yeah, Mike actually called up here to the office like the next Monday or whatever, and I was talking to him on the phone, and you could tell he was pretty tickled about that. Having two of his own dogs, the kids having two of his dogs in the final cast like that. It's a good deal.
In the
And
final
litter mates,
cast,
yeah, litter mates too at that.
litter
Yep,
mates, yeah,
yep.
absolutely. In the final cast, actually, Kevin took off. Kevin Cable took off and took them to the woods to be their judge and guide. And when the smoke cleared, the 2025 senior national champion was that Austin Rosenberger from there in Indiana, handling Hennis Creek Viver. For his win, he secured a $3,000 tuition award along with a national championship trophy, an embroidered Dan's jacket, Avery edition hat and vest from Carolina Coon Hunters, and then 2 bags of Eukanuba dog food.
Yeah, we talked about the two litter mates in there. Actually, it was Mike Carmack's daughter Jenny who placed second. Then with the other litter mate, with Dolly, the national grand champion of Autumn Oaks, Hannes Creek Dolly, that's owned by Mike Carmack and Lance Belcher of Indiana. They're placed second, runner up this year.
Third was the Reagan Estes there that you talked about, handling Timber True Sweet Alley, the English owned by Jeff and Trina Philhauer of Indiana.
Yep, and then fourth place was Easton Coffee of Kentucky with Willie's Stacking Bills, and dog was handled by or owned by Emily Coffee of Kentucky. So, hey, congratulations to all four of those kids there. First place got what, $3,000, and the others got $2,000 apiece, right?
That's
Tuition
right. They
money.
each second through fourth all got a $2,000 tuition award, their final cast trophy, some Avery edition hats and vests from Carolina Coon Hunters, and also 2 bags of Eukanuba dog food. So they didn't go home empty handed, and they got a pretty good start on their further education once they finish high school up.
Yeah, congratulations also to Austin Rosenbarger for winning the senior division there. Nice job. And congratulations to all the kids this year that had a good showing. I'm sure there was a lot of hype. There was a lot of hype for it, and it looked like the kids were having fun. I watched some of your videos, pictures, and looked like the kids were having fun.
Absolutely, they did, and it's always encouraging. Didn't have any troubles throughout the weekend. The kids were super respectful. The judges all had awesome things to say about them, and hey, that means as much to me as any cast win could. That we got a good group of hunters and just young people, coming into our world now. So I want to give out some thank yous for the hunts real quick. Our master of hounds this year was Mr. Jamie Estep of West Virginia. You guys hear that name a lot. He's one of our field reps, does a lot of stuff for us through the year. And this is actually his third time being the master of hounds at a youth national championship, which makes him the now most often used master of hounds in youth nationals history. So I know that's a badge that he's super proud to have. And, he does a great job there with the kids and with the parents and making sure everything's run correctly.
He's just a jack of all trades, and we always say master of none, but he's a master at most all of them, I'd say. But yeah, Jamie's good to have for a lot of different things. He wears so many different hats. Good with the
Great
kids,
people.
obviously. Yep.
And I know that Angie and Kevin and Tyler and all those folks with the club would want me to take 20 seconds here to thank all the non-hunting judges for the weekend. Anytime you put on an event, that's definitely the most stressful thing. Is, as you often say, it's easy to say I'll be there, but if you're committing and you're actually going to show up there, regardless if the forecast may have a little bit of rain or whatever, I know they were super appreciative of the folks here I'm about to mention: Scotty Hensley, Hannah Cable, Mark Adkins, Terry Tappy, Angie Cable, Drew Estep, Cole Pumphrey, Matt Lingo, Cody Barrows, Tyler Stroh, Derek Compton, Levi Ward, Jeff Hetrick, Brad Kelly, Zane Shaver, Blake Miller, Connor Lucas, and Kevin Cable. All of them at least judge one cast over the weekend. Most of them judge 2 casts over the weekend. And you can't put on a quality youth event without good judges. And we sure appreciate all of your commitment and volunteering for this event. It means a lot to all of us.
Hey, Trevor, you know what I noticed with this list of names that we're here helping is also guys that have competed in the youth nationals themselves. So that's pretty sweet. Some of these guys coming back and also giving back to the youth national championship. But there's several names on there that definitely that competed in the past in the youth nationals. Kind of
A
cool.
couple national champions in there, a couple
Yeah.
national champions, and a couple that
Yep.
made final casts and whatnot.
Yep.
Alan, you've been feeding Eukanuba dog feed for a while now. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I have, and I've really been able to put my beagles to the test, mainly running snowshoe hare up north where they run the hardest, where I put 15, 20, 25 miles on them easily in a day. And I've found that the premium performance sport has really paid dividends. Mainly, I noticed their stamina.
Yeah, same feed that I've been feeding. I think my dog looks good on it. He's really feeling good, and less kennel cleanup for me, so I highly recommend it as well.
Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner of UKC.
Well, let's shift gears to the bench show.
Yeah. Yeah. Had a good show too, didn't you?
Yeah, 52 total entries. That gives us the most that we've had in a bench show since the format was changed back in 2018 to make it more of a showmanship type show, which is super encouraging. Man, we had a great crowd. I couldn't believe how many people were standing out there when I started doing my opening ceremonies. I was amazed and excited and super happy to see it. Our day on Saturday started with Tiffany Atkins of West Virginia coming. She put on an awesome seminar for everybody, super interactive. She was asking them questions, keeping them engaged, and we both talked about it afterwards. You gotta appreciate the kids because all of them were super attentive. They weren't talking during the entire seminar. We're talking about an hour of her putting on a seminar. They were being super attentive. They were respectful. Obviously it stinks when you're trying to talk and people are carry on other conversations elsewhere. It's hard enough to get up and speak, and it makes it that much tougher when you're trying to speak over other people. And each of them participated well. If she had a question, to try to encourage them to be interactive. You saw a whole bunch of hands going up, and they were answering a lot of questions and weren't afraid to come up and answer some anatomy questions or things like that. So man, it was all super great stuff.
Yeah, the show's set up a little bit differently where they show by the handler's age. So you have 5 to 12-year-olds. They all show in the junior division, and then 13 to 17 in the senior division. So all 5-year-olds go up against other 5-year-old handlers, and that's a class right there. It doesn't matter what breed of dog they have, the sex, all none of that matters. What category? It's all based on the handler's age, and it's pretty cool. I always love to watch that. How just the progression of it as we start with the younger kids, and man, by the time you're up in the 10, 11-year olds, some of them are just really good handlers. I always love to watch that progression.
Also, the more that I go, the more you almost circle an age class like, wow, this is going to be a tough one for years to come, and it kind of plays out that way. The 15-year-olds this year, you think I've seen these kids come up now since they were 9, 10 years old, and they still have a couple years left, and I can't imagine trying to pick a winner from that group in future years. It's just the cream of just cream of the crop, a bunch of really talented folks. And so in the bench show, the way it works, they place on first through third. If there's enough in the age category, first in the age category gets a trophy and some sort of goodie from Eukanuba or Mud River. Second and third will get a colored ribbon distinguishing their win. So just something to take home. And like you said, we started with the 5-year olds, worked our way through the 12-year olds, and when we were done there, we brought back our 5 to 12-year-old class winners, and we crowned our junior national champion. And when we were all done, it was one of those Rorvik kids again. Owen Rorvik now joins his brother and 2 of his sisters as a youth national champion by securing the junior national championship here. Owen's just 10 years old. He's from there around Peru, Indiana, and he was handling a dog named Eminem Southern Swirl's little girl. For Owen's national championship win, he got a trophy to commemorate his win, a Dan's embroidered jacket, 2 bags of Eukanuba dog food. And then also, I don't know if it was Angie with the club or if it was a donation from someone else. There was a crate with a nice embroidered cover there and a crate blanket from Eukanuba as well. So he got his prizes, and man, he was super stoked, and I was super happy for a kid who you see pictures and videos of them all the time. They put the work in with the dogs, or all the time with the dogs.
Yeah, little O, I think they call him. But man, that good. I was tickled for that little guy. Had a nice little dog, and you're right. He takes it seriously, and his older sister Morgan, she's won it before, and his older brother and his siblings have all had a lot of success showing dogs and hunting dogs and everything else. So yeah, pretty cool to see little Owen win the junior part. Seniors, 13 to 17-year olds, they showed in the next category, And your overall winner there was Jordan Brooks, a 15-year-old out of Virginia, handling Laurel Valley Boondock Bombshell. Hey, we've talked a lot about Jordan Brooks, when we're talking about youth events and showing dogs, youth showing dogs, and she's just one of the experts at it, and it's not a surprise. I saw pictures. It was either a video or a picture of that final class that she was up against. That looked like a tough class.
Oh, for sure. It was people who had already won national champions, and forget about youth events. Or kids that are winning, at standard shows or winning at breed day events and state events, and even at some of the UKC administered events. It's a tough crowd, and Jordan, man, she's been right there on the brink of it for several years now, and she finally got her national championship, and it was well deserved. You look at her, and I was close enough to the ring where I could hear some of the questions that Tiffany was asking, and it was tough. Anatomy questions that a lot of them were just hitting them right on the nail right on the head with where the anatomy was, and she was making circles. Who's paying attention? Who's keeping the dog between us? Who's not wearing out? Who's not getting frustrated with their dog moving here or there after a long show? And you know, Jordan, she's been there and done that, and it's I don't think I'm going out here on a limb to say Jordan's going to be around for a while, and she's going to win a lot of big shows.
Yep. Yep. Hey, for winning, same thing here. She got her overall trophy, got a Dan's embroidered jacket, or she will be getting one. Got a couple bags of Eukanuba dog food, a crate, and a cover from donations, and then also a blanket. So, congratulations to both Little O and Jordan Brooks,
Yep.
national champions this year.
Four new national champions. And to kind of put a bow on the event here, definitely got to give some shout outs because, like I said, an event like this can't happen and be successful without a bunch of people chipping together with a common goal of putting on a successful event and helping our youth strive into the future. And first off, I got to give a shout out to the Wayne County Cooners Association for agreeing to host the event there. They have an awesome clubhouse. You almost won't find a better venue for this event than there at the Wayne County Cooners Association in Milton, Indiana. And I think they would be the first to tell you that they can't put on an event like this without the help from Hannah's Creek Conservation Club, which has a lot of hunters and people willing to put in the effort. And also, they have an Angie Cable who is obsessed with putting on super great events, and she does an awesome job at it. And I think both of them would want me to say also a lot of help comes from other area clubs. You see Derek Compton up there all weekend helping from the Selma Club and probably several others. John Hine was there to help cast out from up in Salina. Terry Tappy and Lingo from the Bryant Club there, Limberlost, and it takes a entire area. It's not one club can put on this event. It takes an entire area of people buying in with a common goal to put on an event like this.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, our partners, Eukanuba, the official performance dog nutrition partner of UKC, sponsors Bright Eyes Light, Ray Conrad. We can't say enough for what Ray does for not just all of our events, but what he does here for the youth is amazing. 24 lights, I think he sends to the youth nationals altogether. Your Carolina Coon Hunters that you mentioned, Dan's Hunting Gear, and Mud River, some of the major sponsors there for this event. Thanks to each one of those.
Yeah, for sure. And just to put a conclusion on it here, I want to thank Angie Cable and Tyler Stroh for dealing with me for the past year. It's a lot of marking boxes off and making sure everything's in place. And I, deal with them pretty closely for an entire year. So I appreciate that. I hate to start mentioning names, but there were several there who were there the entire time. Obviously Angie and Kevin Cable, Tyler Stroh, Chet McCreary, Hannah Cable, Beulah Cable, Jessica Hetrick, Lily Sauvel, Samantha Snyder, Justin Mitchell, and a few others. There was a time there right before midnight on Saturday where you're just almost gassed after a weekend. You're waiting on cats to come in, and man, a big group of those folks I just mentioned were there to help me break down our assets and carry them over the door and get them loaded on the trailer. And man, that stuff goes a long way in kind of keeping the morale up and help you get
Yeah.
through a weekend. It goes further than you could.
Hey, and then also, you always got to thank the parents, the grandparents, and the mentors, the guardians, and the friends, and everybody who had a hand in getting a kid there, whether it was one of their own or not. Thank all those folks who make sure they can get their kids there. And the events like these wouldn't be possible without the sacrifice of those that take them. And and afford them to be able to participate in these events. So appreciate all of those that support our youth events and support the kids and take them to the events. Certainly giving back to the sport. It's a good way to give back, take a kid to some of these events, and it can be any youth event. We have a lot of YEP events, a lot of other youth only events, and certainly appreciate all the folks that took their kids to the Youth National Championship.
For sure, for sure. And now we're just now getting done with it. And I'm happy to say we already have our host club agreement signed by our host club next year. The 2026 Youth National Championship is going to be in Mercer County, Pennsylvania, Greenville, Pennsylvania, hosted by Corey Groover and his clubs. You talk about somebody who's already putting the work in. He's got a lot of plans on place. They're making some super nice additions to their clubhouse and to their pavilion to make it more user friendly for us while we're there. They're working on camping stuff. They got the pond ready to go, so we'll have some water races there.
Fishing, kids are going to be able to fish, I think he said.
Yeah, for sure. So if you enjoyed yourself at the 2025 Youth Nationals, or for some reason you couldn't make it, but you'd like to be involved in it, we hope to see you in Greenville, Pennsylvania next year at the 2026 Youth National Championship. It's going to be a great time, so we hope to see you there. Now we'll take a short break, and we come back. We're going to talk about some of our big winners from our charter breed days this year. Now that series year is over, so just hang tight.
Hey folks, this is Alan Gingrich here with an exclusive offer for our Hunting Ops podcast listeners only. We're giving you a 10% discount for all UKC gear and apparel. To place your order and get your exclusive discount, go to the shop at ukcdogs.com and use the discount code HUNTUKC, all uppercase and all one word. And thank you for tuning into our podcast.
Alrighty, now we're going to take a look at our chartered breed day champions throughout this year. They're all done now. The last one there at the end of June, Redbone Days. And man, we had a really good year. I got to go to 5 of the 7 chartered breed days this year with just a couple conflicts, but I hope to go to the other 2 this next year. And man, shout out to a lot of the new things they're trying to do, getting youth involved. And if you haven't done it, man, give your breed of choice their association, look into them, become a member, and get to that breed day event, and you'll surely enjoy yourself. There's a lot of people there who like the same stuff as you. So, leading off the year this year, right after TOC finals, I headed down to Montpelier, Ohio, April 17th through 19th by the Tree and Walker Breeder and Fancier Association, their breed day event. And man, that was a cool location. I really liked the way they had it set up, and I think it's going there again next year. It's going to be a good event. This year, the overall night hunt winner from the weekend was night champion Lone Pine Little Friend. Obviously, a Tree and Walker owned by Randy Smith, Troy Smith, Rick Strasser, Austin Ewan. They're all from up in Pennsylvania. Fran best the field there. Coming up as the opposite sex winner of the night hunt was Grand Night champion What's Up Frog, a Tree and Walker owned by Russell Beller of Indiana and handled by Matt Beebe out there at the event. The overall bench show winner and the queen of show was confirmation champion, grand champion 4, Skyline and Leaveview Dare the Devil, owned by Bridget Clary and Beth Jenkins of Virginia. Another big tally in their belt for the year. And the opposite sex of the bench show and the king of show was champion Kentucky River Maverick in Town by our good friend Lee Currens of South Carolina, who is still winning to this day.
Yeah, I mentioned Randy Smith there. He's won a lot with his dogs, won a world championship, a lot of big events, but one that he didn't have was that Walker Days trophy, but he finally got it this year, so congratulations to Randy. Hey, the following week, April 24th through the 26th, American Leopard Breeders Association, they were in Milton, same place we had our Youth Nationals there. King of Hunt, there was Keen's Big Time Halo, owned by Jason Keene of Virginia. The Queen of Hunt was Dark Star Sparrow. That's owned by Bandy Berlin of Michigan. In the show, we had the King of Show was Rose Hill Ramblin' Rowdy, owned by Sierra Killian of Tennessee. And then the Queen of Show at Leopard Days was Confirmation Champion, Grand Champion 5, Smokin' Aces Midnight Waterfall. That dog is owned by Savannah McCollum and Buddy Ray of Missouri. So there's your Leopard Hound Days winners in the hunting shows.
Congratulations, guys. Next weekend, I made my way over to Flora, Illinois. Seems like I go there a couple times a year. That was April 30th. They got started up on that Wednesday through May the 3rd. And the King of Hunt this year was Grand Night champion Routins Black Riddle. owned by David Routon of Missouri, always a contender when he brings one to a hunt. And the Queen of Hunt was our good buddy Kenneth LaRue of Louisiana, handling Night Champion LA Pumpkins Black Gold. And man, I think he won a cast all 4 nights that weekend. So him and Goldie were on fire. King of Show was actually a name that you guys have heard quite a bit over the past couple of years. Our national grand champion, world show champion, grand champion 2, Gilman's Good Time Blues, owned by Dave and Kelly Myers of Pennsylvania. And the Queen of Show for the second time in the past several years was Grand Champion 3, C&M's Outlaw Della Rose, owned by Chloe Gibson and Misty Yarrington. And Chloe is out of Missouri, just a young lady who just graduated high school. She's got two Queen of Shows under her belt. Awesome job.
Yeah, so next on the list was Blue Tick BBOA Days, Blue Tick Days, middle of May. That was held in Mount Gilead, Ohio. King of Hunt there was Lockdown Blue Bow Diddley's Drip, a dog that's owned by John Holbrook out of Ohio. The Queen of Hunt was Crash's Blue Millie, owned by Herbie Hicks and Mark Bear and Mike McAvoy. The dog is registered in the state of Kentucky. Obviously, Mark Bear and Mike McAvoy are in Ohio there. King of Show on the show side, Hat Creek. Papa Top Stylish Chrome is a dog that's owned by Amy and Richie McDonald out of Wooster, Ohio. And then the Queen of Show was Grand Champion Hall of Fame Missy's Rocky Hills Bess, a dog that's owned by Melissa Ann Rossiter, I guess you pronounce her last name, out of Ohio as well. So congratulations to all the hunt and show winners there at BBOA Days this year.
Then we got to June, beginning of June there, June 4th through 7th in Florida, Illinois again was the United English Breeder and Fancier Association Days, so English Days. King of Hunt there was Blues Heat Seeker Jackhammer, owned by Lee Wade and Grant Whitmer of Indiana. Lee's out of Indiana. He was your king, and your queen was Grand Night Champion G2's Light-Footed Angel, owned by Seth Ish of Indiana, and actually handled by Izzy there. So great job to those folks. King of Show was Confirmation Champion Southbound Gift of the Gods, owned by Hunter Booth of New York. And the Queen of Show was Champion Southeastern's Kentucky Mountain Red Rhapsody, owned by Rhonda Brown and Penny Turner. Rhonda out of North Carolina.
Yeah, the next week, June 12th through the 14th, the National Plothound Association, they held their annual event at Tell City, Indiana. It's a place they've been numerous times. Tell City has hosted a lot of breed day hunts, and they play all the games at Plot Days, as Mr. Anderson would call it. They have their hunt winners. They have the Isaiah Kid Award. That's what they recognize the overall winners as the Isaiah Kid. So their overall award winner there was Shepherd's Rowena, a dog owned by William Shepherd of Indiana. And then the opposite sex, Isaiah Kid in the night hunt, was a Grand Night champion R&R's Buckeye Dick. That's a dog that's owned by John Walkup Sr. He's not his first time winning at Plot Days. Mr. Walkup's had a lot of good hounds over the years. He won a world championship, and good to see him. He still has a dog out there hunting a little bit, but John's got to be getting up there. One of the older guys at the hunt, I'm sure now. But King of Show was Grand Champion Midnight Brindle Bruno. That's a dog that's owned by Scott and Connie Hogan out of Pennsylvania. And then the Queen of Show was also owned by Connie Hogan. He kind of swept the shows there with on the female side, Midnight Bippity Boppity Boo. Bipty Boppity Boo. Say that 5 times real fast. Bipty Boppity Boo.
I was hoping you would get that one.
Bipty Boppity Boo.
And then rounding out our 7 chartered breed days was down in the last weekend of June, 26th through 28th, in Elnora, Indiana, which was kind of a new location for me. And I thought the club did an awesome job, great venue, and thank goodness the building had air conditioner because it was a little warm outside. So that's where National Redbone Coonhound Association had their annual breed day event. The overall night hunt winner for the weekend was night champion A&W's Rough Cut Jolene, owned by Brent Weatherford of Indiana. The opposite sex in the night hunt was Grand Night champion Daughtry's Red Chithead Fred, owned by Dean Daughtry of Illinois. Trying to get me canceled here, Dean. Trying to get me canceled. Yeah. And then our overall bit show winner was, again, World Show Champion, National Grand Champion, Confirmation Champion, Grand Champion 4, Wabash River Lost Highway, owned by Andy and Keith Emery out of North Carolina, and then also Curtis Elburn and Nikki Matthews from Indiana. And the opposite sex in the bench show was Grand Champion Stone Nickel Big Sky, owned by Mary and Rodney Bergbauer from Indiana. That's a rundown of our 7 chartered breed day events this year. If you want to see full results from the weekend, you can go to our website, ukcdogs.com, navigate to Coonhounds and standings and results, and you're going to find on that standing and results page, I've kind of been putting way more stuff on there than we used to. Not only will you find our breed day events and our administered events, but I've also been putting state championships on there, other breed day events that are on our major events calendar, and even stuff that's on our youth championship schedule. So for all the results, you can go there to find it. If you're part of one of the associations that are putting on those events, I would really appreciate it if you take good, clear pictures of your reports and email them to me. Let me know who your overall winners were, and we can kind of fast line how we get those, fast track how people can find your overall winners, because people love that information as quick as we can. And it's a great way to highlight the overall winners from your weekend. For folks who are interested in this sort of stuff, hey, reach out to us if you need a contact for one of these breed associations. Get involved, join in, meet other people within your breed. Go to some of these events. They're a great time. And who knows, Alan and I go to a lot of these events over the past several years, and hopefully we'll see you there at one of them. And man, they're a great time. So.
Yep. Hey, with the conclusion of all the breed day hunts, you know what's up next? The big granddaddy of them all, Autumn Oaks, is coming up. So here at the office, we're already working hard on Autumn Oaks. Entries are coming in still, and they're coming in good, actually. So looking to be a good Autumn Oaks this year. So here in one of the next event recaps, you're going to probably start here. That's about the next one we're probably going to have a recap on, is Autumn Oaks. So, hey, congratulations to all the winners at the breed day events this year, and the youth nationals and all these events here, and looking forward to seeing everybody at Autumn Oaks.
Hey, Alan, I don't know if you've been messing around with this new Houndsman Advantage app at all, but I've been playing with it some, and it has some really cool features on it. One, it has the interactive scorecard view where you can assign strike and tree points at the touch of a button, and it automatically totals your scores after each set of points are scored and valued.
Yeah, no, I like it as well. Some of the features that I like is that you can access the rules, and that it comes with a search function to easily find any specific rule. Also like that there's a place for your dog's registration numbers, and you can store pictures of your easy entry cards. I like that you can track 2 dogs' performances when out pleasure hunting. You'll find some analytics on your dogs. You can record their accuracy, win percentages, and a whole lot of things like that.
No more lying here on this app. The last thing about the scorecard I'll talk about is it has the summary view as well, where you can see the total points you have and the pending points that you have, along with tree timers for each dog. So it's going to come in handy for judges as well. So check it all out on the new Houndsman Advantage app. Thank you for listening to the UKC Hunting Ops Podcast. Be sure to give us a follow so you don't miss any of our new episodes or content.